Rockbridge Report, Rockbridge County High School students are still adjusting to the new phone ban.
I'm working from bell to bell now. So I would say that it's overall improved my productivity at school.
After that, see why protesters are rallying in front of Representative Ben Klein's offices throughout his Western Virginia district.
People are out here because they want to be heard. They're concerned about the chaos at the federal level.
And Buena Vista city officials unveiled a grant to improve buildings throughout the city. We'll hear all about the new program. And later, local sports are bringing home all sorts of hardware. W&L men's golf leads the nation. Perry McClure indoor track added 2 state titles, and SVU women's basketball earned their 2nd consecutive conference championship. All that and more coming up now on the Rockbridge Report.
Live from the campus of Washington and Lee University with news from Rockbridge County, this is the Rockbridge Report.
Welcome back to the Rockbridge Report. I'm Devin Bateman.
And I'm Katie Eubanks. We begin our broadcast tonight with breaking news out of the Virginia Military Institute. The outgoing VMI superintendent says the school's board ousted him due to what he calls bias, emotion, and ideology. VMI's Board of Visitors voted last week 10-6 not to extend the contract of retired Army Major General Cedric Wins. Wins, the first black superintendent of VMI, was hired in 2021. His contract is up at the end of June. He responded to the board's decision in a statement today, defending his record of accomplishments. See the whole story on our website, rockbridgereport.wlu.edu. Victims' advocates are trying to raise awareness after a Lexington man was arrested last month on human trafficking and prostitution charges. Victim support organizations say human trafficking is often missed by people who do not know what to look for. Advocates say marginalized communities are often the most at risk of sex trafficking, but there are resources available for victims. Read Erica Kenny's full story on our website.
Some buildings along Buena Vista's main roads will get a facelift. The Rockbridge Report's John Little is live in the newsroom. John, what can you tell us about this program?
Yeah, Devin, Buena Vista's government has awarded grants to 15 applicants for improving building fronts along the city's main corridors. It's the first program of its kind in years, and the first include homes instead of just businesses. Buena Vista's Economic Development Director, Christina Ramsey, says the grant could boost property values, and investments like these could be the catalyst for even more improvements across the city.
I want it to feel like it's a place that people care about. It's a place where you want to live, where you want to work, open your business.
One recipient, Madison Arthur, heard about the opportunity on social media. She applied for funding to restore her home on Magnolia Avenue. She says she plans to replace the front door along with the columns and railings on her porch.
We want to make it look pleasing because it's one of the bigger buildings as you're coming into the city.
The total amount requested was over $63,000, but the city had $28,000 available, meaning some owners may have to cut back their plans.
Maybe they'll just replace the door, clean the sidewalk, and clean the outside of their building rather than putting all new siding. So just kind of scaling it back in different ways.
One of the largest projects funded is with Mountain Gateway Community College, where the grant is helping transform one of 2 buildings purchased 5 years ago into a modern facility.
Front of this building needed a drastic facelift.
The city gave $3,500 to remove and replace the windows and add new siding. Behind those windows, there will be rooms for academic programs like nursing.
I was raised in Buena Vista. I walked this street as a child many, many years ago, and it just warms my heart to be a part of something to give back to the area that I grew up in.
As these programs get off the ground, Buena Vista hopes to see more community growth and pride. Reporting live from the newsroom for the Rockbridge Report, I'm John Little.
Brightening up Buena Vista, thanks John for that live report. Paying attention during class might be a little easier for students at Rockbridge County High School. A policy banning cell phones during the school day began at the start of 2025. School officials say most students have responded well to the new rule, and only a small number have been punished. Amy Amison reports.
Last fall, Rockbridge County Schools Superintendent Philip Thompson proposed a new policy at schools that banned all cell phone use during the school day. The school board voted to approve the ban, which went into effect January 13 when classes resumed after the winter break. Now, nearly 2 months later, students are trying to adjust to the change.
During my study hall, when it would be like, the last 10 minutes of class or 5 minutes of class, I'm just going to like take an Instagram break.
Students are not allowed to have their phones out during the school day. Ziegler says that sometimes she wished that phones could be used during lunch to catch up with parents.
It sounds so funny, but I've definitely started emailing my parents a lot more, which just seems weird, but that's kind of my only way to communicate with them throughout the day.
Assistant Principal Dan Fallon says that students can come to the main office to contact their parents. He says that most students have fully adjusted to the new policy, although that is not always the case.
We've had a couple of students who are around the third and fourth, but I really think that once you get on them the first or second time, they really recognize that, hey, I'm going to lose this and I don't want to.
When students are found with a phone their first time, it is just a warning. By the third strike, students' phones are confiscated and their parent or guardian must come to the school in order to receive it from the office. Teachers are supposed to submit a Google form daily to administrators on what students they give a strike to. So far, Fallon says 17 students are on their third strike and 6 are on their fourth.
It's exactly what we have figured, which is when you take it away, you get more engagement, more social interaction, better academic performance, longer attention spans, better retention.
On Tuesday, Fallon will be giving an update to Rockbridge County Schools Board on how the phone ban has been going at the high school. With the Rockbridge Report, I'm Emmy Amison.
One of the few coffee shops in downtown Lexington has closed abruptly. The Lexington Coffee Shop shut down last week. City tax officials say they don't have the name of the new owner of the building at 9 West Washington Street. They say records won't be processed until next week. Officials at City Clerk of Courts say they won't release the name of the new owner.
Coming up on the Rockbridge Report, see how the Rockbridge Animal Alliance is not only serving the community, but their four-legged friends with emergency food and delivery services. And for many victims of Parkinson's disease, a diagnosis means a life of slowed movement. But one local boxing studio is teaching their clients to fight back against the symptoms.
And later, citizens rallied in front of Representative Ben Klein's offices this week. Hear more about their concerns when we come back.
Welcome back to the Rockbridge Report. Large crowds of protesters gathered near the office of U.S. Representative Ben Klein earlier this week. Many carried signs as they called on Klein to host a town meeting looking to discuss concerns with the government's mass firing of federal workers. Olivia Whitehouse tells us more.
Protests just like this one happening all across the 6th District Tuesday in Winchester, Stanton, and Roanoke.
People are out here because they want to be heard. They're concerned about the chaos at the federal level, and they're concerned about the corruption that appears rampant between Trump and Musk.
Protesters held signs showing support for Ukraine, others criticizing that Klein has not held a town hall.
I don't think anybody, including a lot of the people who voted for Trump, voted for what's going on now. We did not vote to take apart the entire government with a sledgehammer. Even when we agree that maybe there needs to be some auditing, particularly at the Pentagon, this is not what we had in mind.
One person I spoke with says he works with immigrants who are scared of what is happening. And his daughter, who worked with immigrants in Texas, is now out of a job.
Particularly my daughter, who has been cast out, who's been doing wonderful work with legal immigrants, and now does not have a job because of these cutbacks in immigrant services.
This protest comes after Klein's staff stopped in Waynesboro last week for mobile office hours. There, many residents voiced similar criticism for the representative. Klein's office responded in a statement saying, "The fact is that people support what President Trump is doing to reduce waste in the government. And so does Congressman Klein." We reached back out to his office for a comment on this week's protests, but have not heard back.
The Rockbridge Animal Alliance is facing a volunteer shortage, but it continues to serve the community in new ways. Carmen Bunker explores how the organization is managing the demand for its services.
The group closed its pet food pantry last year due to a lack of volunteers. Now, with no central distribution site, volunteers are delivering food directly to pet owners in need.
I didn't want to get rid of the food altogether. We're doing this emergency food, and so clients can apply for food every 3 months. and we'll get that out to them.
Beyond pet food, the organization continues to support local pet owners through spay and neuter services, veterinary assistance, and other aid.
We have provided dog beds, cat food, flea collars, flea treatments, any kind of treatment that we possibly can for pets.
Despite the challenges, volunteers are still committed to keeping pets and their owners happy. One meal, one vet visit, and one act of kindness at a time.
I've had dogs my whole life, and so I figured it's a great way to give back and help out in the community. It's not too much of a time commitment, so anybody can come out and do it and help out.
For pet owners like Taisha Breeden, this service has been a lifeline.
There'd be a lot of people that would struggle feeding their animals because of the hikes. The price hikes in the last 2 years has been extraordinary. You know, you're paying for more and you're getting less of the food, and so it's definitely, like I said, I don't know what I would do. It's a blessing. It really is.
People in need of the Alliance's services can visit their website for details. This is Carmen Bunker with the Rockbridge Report.
The Lexington City Council will soon discuss an ordinance allowing a new type of high-density housing in Lexington. The potential zoning regulation would allow a cluster of single-family homes to be built on small existing lots. Lexington's Planning and Development Director says it fits in with the city's goals for achieving higher density and creating more housing options. For details, read Jordan Hoover's story at rockbridgereport.wlu.edu. Rockbridge County residents now have a new tool to help save lives. The Pulse Point app, which launched in February the 14th, alerts users when someone nearby goes into cardiac arrest anywhere within a quarter-mile radius. Shane Watts is a lieutenant with the Rockbridge County Fire Rescue who's helped set up the program. He says it will save lives.
And we can get those to people quicker, and hopefully our survival rates out of hospital and public places will go up.
Residents can download Pulse Point from the App Store or Google Play.
A program in Lexington is showing people how to fight back against the symptoms of Parkinson's disease. As Emily Scaff reports, participants with Parkinson's are putting on boxing gloves, grabbing their punching bags, and facing off against the disease at Rocksteady Boxing.
Ready? All right, go for it. Go, go, go.
Rocksteady Boxing is a non-contact boxing program designed specifically for people with Parkinson's. Elizabeth Aperson, the coach of the program, says that the classes help improve coordination, strength, and overall wellness for patients.
This gives them strength, it gives them confidence. We focus on breathing, on good posture.
Classes are held every weekday at Flex Fitness Studio. Aperson says Rocksteady Boxing is more than just an exercise program. The class provides a community of support for Parkinson's patients.
We don't focus on the Parkinson's aspect of it. We focus on the fact that these are fighters. So when they come in here, we're all in the same boat, and we just encourage community.
The Parkinson's Foundation says boxing appears to be an effective exercise program for Rocksteady participants. But in a press release for the foundation, Dr. Stephanie Combs-Miller says more research needs to be conducted to fully understand the effects it has on the disease. Joe Scovira, a Rocksteady participant, says the program has helped him connect with those facing similar struggles.
Well, one you get is you have support around you, a support group in effect. That I've met some new people that I hadn't met before, and I think we help one another out, psychologically as well as physically.
Rocksteady Boxing is a national program founded in 2006. Aperson brought the program to Lexington last summer. It's just one of the 900 Rocksteady Boxing gyms worldwide. Those interested in learning more about Rocksteady Boxing classes can contact Flex Fitness Studios in downtown Lexington. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Emily Scaff.
Coming up on the Rockbridge Report, winter sports at Washington and Lee are heading to the NCAA tournament. Learn more about the matchups when we come back.
Good evening, I'm Paige Jackson. Things have been a bit gloomy lately, but we're expecting spring weather starting next week. I'll give you the full scoop in my forecast next on the Rockbridge Report.
Welcome back to the Rockbridge Report. Walking to class in the rain yesterday definitely wasn't the most exciting way to spend my Wednesday.
Yeah, Katie, the weather has been all over the place. Paige, can we spring to spring sometime soon, or?
Yeah, it's been pretty gloomy, but the sun's coming out this weekend. Taking a look at our live shot on the Washington Lee campus, we can see that it is still pretty cloudy, but we're hoping that'll clear up soon. Looking at our current conditions in Lexington, the high currently is 44 degrees with a low of 30. The barometric pressure is 29.64 inches with a wind speed of 21 miles per hour and a humidity of 48%. Looking at our radar, we can see some of those clouds over in the western side. It's pretty spotty cloud coverage, but just enough to create some overcast. Looking at our regional conditions, we can see that most cities in Rockbridge County are experiencing some clouds right now. So over in the east, in Charlottesville, we have a cloudy look with 45 degrees currently. In Stanton, Lexington, and Buena Vista, it is all cloudy. In Stanton, it's 40 degrees, and in Lexington and Buena Vista, it is currently 42. In Lynchburg, they're lucky they're getting some sun right now with a current temperature of 45 degrees. And taking a look in the west, they are experiencing some crazy winds right now in Covington and Roanoke with wind speeds up to almost 40 miles per hour. In Covington, it's overcast, around 24 degrees, and in Roanoke, it is currently 38. Looking at our 5-day forecast, tomorrow we can expect some partial clouds with a high of 57 and a low of 40. On Saturday, we'll be getting some showers in the morning just before 10, and then for the rest of the day, we can expect some sun, which will be nice, with a high of 57 once again and a low of 30. On Sunday, it will be nice and sunny with a high of 54 and a low of 31. And heading into next week, this is the real treat. On Monday, it'll be 64 and sunny with a low of 33. And on Tuesday, it will be 70 degrees and 40. So to me, that sounds like spring weather. Back to you, Devin and Katie.
Coming up on the Rockbridge Report, WNL baseball tacked on to their winning streak with a victory over SVU. Our Mackenzie Kane caught up with the team's pitcher ahead this weekend's conference matchup.
And those aren't all the strikes we'll see. Learn how one young soul celebrated her 100th birthday at the bowling lanes when we come back. Welcome back to the Rockbridge Report. I heard some of the winter sports are finishing up with some NCAA tournaments.
Yeah, and with those wrapping up and the weather warming up, all the spring sports are coming. Shay, can you tell us what to look forward to?
Yes, Katie, there's a lot to look forward to this week with winter sports continuing into the postseason and spring sports off to a strong start. It's an exciting week for WNL sports as spring athletics kick into high gear. Generals baseball secured a win at home against SVU, defeating the Knights 5-3. The Rockbridge Report's Mackenzie Kane caught up with the team's starting pitcher after the game.
Good evening, Rockbridge. I'm here at Washington and Lee's Captain Dick Smith Field, where the Generals baseball team just defeated the SVU Knights 5-3. And joining me here on field is sophomore pitcher Nathan DeWitt. Now, we saw an anomaly in the lineup tonight. Not only did you start on the mound, but you were also the team's designated hitter. Walk me through what was going through your mind finding yourself in that situation.
Yeah, that was a fun time. You know, I haven't done that since high school, and so to be able to play both sides of the ball, it was a great time. You know, getting up there and pitching, getting up there and hitting the same game, it's always a good time.
And how did it pay off?
I mean, it paid off with a win. You know, you love to see the guys get a win, get some momentum heading into the weekend.
Now, speaking of this weekend, you guys got a bit of a tough matchup facing number 5 in the country, Lynchburg, the Hornets. Now, I'm curious, how important was it getting this win at home in terms of carrying over the momentum?
No, this is huge. All you want going into a weekend against a team like Lynchburg's a win. So just getting that off our backs, going in there. You know, we're going to play them close. We're going to play them hard. We did it last year. I'm confident the guys are going to come out again and play them close.
Now, as a member of the pitching staff, what's the strategy before facing a team like that?
All you can do is throw strikes and hope the defense picks you up. So we're going to do a good job of that.
Appreciate your time, Nathan.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank
and
you.
Signing off from Captain Dick Smith Field, I'm Mackenzie Kane with the Rockbridge Report.
The team takes on the Lynchburg Hornets, ranked 5th in the nation, in a doubleheader on Saturday. And speaking of ranked teams, the Generals men's golf team won the Savannah Invitational this past weekend, marking their 2nd consecutive team victory this year. The team is currently ranked number 1 in the country, and sophomore Jonathan McEwen now leads the division as the top individual. But even with the busyness of spring sports, winter athletics aren't over yet. Generals wrestling is also making a trip to the national championship with 4 individual qualifiers. The tournament starts next Friday in Rhode Island. This is the first time in nearly 50 years the team will be sending 4 of its members. The Generals women's basketball team is also making their national championship run. The team takes on the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy tomorrow in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Tip-off is at 4 p.m. Next door at VMI, Keydet's lacrosse team continues to dominate the field, bringing their record to 5-1 after a 13-point victory against Queen's University on Tuesday. The team heads to New Jersey this weekend to take on the Monmouth Hawks. the SVU women's basketball team brought some new hardware home to Buena Vista. The team defeated Brevard College 57-45 to claim their second consecutive conference title. The team heads on the road to Scranton, Pennsylvania to battle Bates College in the first round of the NCAA tournament. The Knights men's volleyball team continues to own the court and still yet to give up a single set. They swept Marymount University last night, stretching their undefeated record to 16-0. The team is back home in the Knight Arena to take on St. Andrews University Saturday at noon. The Perry McClure boys indoor track team capped off their season yesterday at the state track meet. The Fighting Blues brought home 2 titles, one in the 4x800 meter relay and one in the shot put. That's all for sports. Back to you, Devin.
Who says you have to slow down as you get older? A Georgia woman turned 100 years old last week, and she's celebrating by going bowling. She's actually gone every week for the past several years. As Frank Sokolsky shows us, the centenarian is now inspiring others, one pin at a time.
You can say Ms. True-Miller Bacon is in a league of her own. At 100 years old, Ms. Bacon still has game.
Oh, I love to come out here.
Hey, how about we listen to the story?
To come out here and bowl, you know.
Since 2016, every Monday morning, Bacon and her 76-year-old son, Robert, they make the 45-minute drive from Claxton to here, Marne Lanes at Fort Stewart, where the duo and their teammates knock a few down in the Monday Morning Senior League.
She's outstanding. She's a great bowler. She's my inspiration.
She's quiet, she's polite, everybody loves her. She doesn't make any qualms about when she misses the ball. But when misses pins, but when she does make something good, everybody's happy for her.
Now, Ms. Bacon, more than a pretty face, striking personality and inspiration to others nearly half her age in the league. Winning? Well, it's right up her alley, too. Thanks to her 75 average, Ms. Bacon has helped her team win league titles. Do you even worry about the score when you're out there, or how do you approach it? It's just about
No, I don't worry about it. I try to do the best I can. If I make a mistake, then I try to, fix it.
Now with age comes wisdom, so I had to ask Ms. Bacon if she could spare some advice for other seniors looking to stay active.
I would tell them to try. Go out and bowl and have fun, you know?
That's all for the Rockbridge Report. Thanks for watching.
For more local and national news, check out our website, rockbridgereport.wlu.edu, and join us next Thursday for another half-hour edition of the Rockbridge Report.